Welcome back to another episode of the Steebee Weebee Show. We have a very special guest tonight. Please welcome for the first time, musician Annie Hardy. And Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. So it's a historical night tonight because it's our first, is it a...
I think he's a lizard. He's a bearded dragon.
It's our first bearded
he's
dragon.
He's a reptile.
Yes. What's the story with him?
Well, I already have one bearded dragon, and so when I saw that somebody posted they were rehoming him, and he looked like a decrepit, calcified, like very sad little baby, I was like, I'll take that lizard if it's still available. And the people who owned it really were in a rush. They showed up within the hour to drop him off.
Why? Why did they want to get rid of him?
I think they thought he was going to die that night. And he probably was if he didn't come into my care. And now he's being kept with proper husbandry and being fed the right food.
So what's his diet looking like?
His diet is a lot of bugs. Tonight he ate a lot of waxworms and some superworms and some greens and red peppers and butternut squash. You know, he's omnivorous.
Yeah. So where do you go to get his food? Does a local pet store sell those things?
Oh, yeah. The bugs, I order them off Amazon. So you get like 250 superworms at once. And I keep them in a bucket in like the room with them. And I'll forget that I have them. And I go, what's that sound? It sounds like electricity, but it's the sound of 250 moshing superworms.
So what's the difference between a typical worm opposed to a superworm?
A superworm is like if a mealworm was on steroids.
Are they bigger?
They're really big.
How big are they?
They're like this big, and they're really strong. They're about, thanks, I never have good concept of inches, especially when it's backwards. They're about 2 to 3.5 inches.
That was pretty big. I mean, are they pretty, are they skinny or are they thicker?
They're thicker, yeah.
Really?
And you got to dunk them in calcium powder and then give them to Zimbabwe to either catch or you hold them. Like, and he also eats dubia cockroaches.
Okay, what's that?
It's some like bread, like safe, for lizards, cockroach. And I never thought that I would, on purpose, touch a cockroach.
Yeah, how big are they?
The ones I have to get the small ones because they're so fucking gross still. Yeah, I don't like cockroaches, but they're not like the gross regular brown ones.
Because I've lived in other apartments here in Hollywood off of
you know what those look like then.
And there was, it was rampant.
Yeah, those are so gross, and they aren't that bad. They're rounder and they're more like matte finish and kind of like way less offensive.
What would happen if you just place them on this flat surface?
He would just probably sit there.
Okay, if I put my finger...
he doesn't bite or anything unless he thinks you're trying to feed him. But as you can see, he's pretty low energy.
Here's some water, buddy.
He's still recovering from being on the brink of death. He has
he's so beautiful, like just like the scales and... I noticed the sharp edges, the horns.
The thorns are
crazy. Is that for protection?
Yeah, from predators. And they are very sharp. Sometimes I step on the shed that because they shed a lot, not like constantly. Yeah. But for him, he was kept with such poor husbandry. He never shed. I don't think once.
Yeah, trust me, I know about the shedding.
So I'll step on a spike from them, and it feels like I just like stepped on a nail or something.
He's majestic. He's so beautiful.
He is. He's very royal feeling.
Yeah. And is this his demeanor most of the time? Him just chilling like this?
Yeah, and then he'll get a wild hair, like especially if he has to take a shit, and then he'll.
So how big are his poopies?
Like this.
Are they like
They're kind of like an elongated chicken's poop.
Really?
Because, and him and my chickens, because I have 2 pet chickens
Oh,
as
you
well.
have 2 pet chickens? Okay.
They have a lot in common. They both
Hi,
have...
He's looking at me, dude.
Yeah, he wants...
He's checking me out, dude.
He's checking you out for sure. They both have scaly legs, and their poop looks similar, white and then brown, and smelling to high hell.
Is there an odor? Like, what's the odor like there?
It's really terrible.
Is it worse than human feces?
I would say yes.
Really? I mean, how would you describe it? I'm just curious.
It's like something that just makes you go like, oh, fuck.
Is it right away?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
whoa, Simbasaway, what are you doing? He's like, stop talking about my
I'm
shit.
so sorry, dude. Oh
Simmy.
my gosh.
He spilled.
So it's okay. You know what, dude? I didn't mean to offend you and
It's okay, Simmy.
your defecation practices.
Everybody poops Simmy except for me, because I'm a lady.
Okay, sorry, Simmy.
But yeah, it's like there's like a casing over it, like a sausage, sort of.
Oh, he's gripping onto the
Yeah,
thing?
he's like,
Oh,
I'll
wow.
be.
So do you think does he understand language?
I think they're really smart.
Does he understand what we're talking about?
I don't know that for sure, but you can see that he has on top of his head
Yeah.
a third eye, as lizards do. My other one's third eye is more prominent.
Because I believe in reptilians. I'm into that conspiracy stuff.
For sure.
So do you
So
think
do
that?
I.
Yeah. So do you think
There's
do you think he could communicate with reptilians or?
I'm not really
Or is
sure.
that- yeah.
I feel like he's good, but I don't know. He spent a lot of time staring at himself, his reflection today. So maybe he's a narc.
What's the most active you've seen him like?
He
is
runs
nocturnal?
around in the he's diurnal.
Uh-huh.
He's usually asleep right now.
Yeah.
But I've been out of the house all day, so he's just up with me.
Uh-huh.
But he will just like walk around and then stop. Walk around and then stop.
Uh-huh.
I hope he
so
recovers more, because my other bearded dragon, turns out she's a female, and she's horny and
So
she wants to fuck.
are they a couple?
I mean, I want them to be, but he is.
Is he picky?
Yeah, she's got like a clutch of eggs inside. So if
Really?
he could just he has 2 penises.
Yeah. How
too.
do they reproduce? I don't know much about these
He's
things.
got what's called a hemipenis or
Okay.
a hemipene.
Well, you don't have to make him feel. You're gonna put
Can
him on the
I-
spot like
can
that?
I show- can
That's
I-
fine. That's fine.
Can I blow up your spot?
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
You can kind of see he's got, okay, so there's his cloaca, the only whole stuff comes out. And then on the either side right here is his 2 dicks.
There's 2 of them.
Double dick dude, like the guy on Reddit.
He's got the double.
Yeah. I
pistols
just
there,
had
yeah?
to pull out a sperm plug out
Oh
of his
my God.
butthole a couple days ago, and he was a lot better after that. He even did this head bobbing
yeah.
thing that like their mating calls. So
Oh, so they do have mating calls.
oh yeah, they just start acting like super spastic, and like
Oh
the
my-
guys bob the head.
Yeah.
The female, not unlike females of the human race these days, she just ran at him and started bumping her head into his side like, fuck me,
yeah.
fuck me.
That reminded me of The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Because that's in The Exorcist she has that line, Reagan, and remember when she gets possessed? That first one. Yeah.
Your mother
Yeah.
sucks cocks in
Yeah,
hell.
yeah. So you grew up with movies like that, like The Omen and The Exorcist. and
Yeah,
stuff like that,
I've never been a huge fan of movies, but when I would watch
But
movies, I
that's the
watch
one.
horror
That's
films.
the one.
Yeah.
So what's the last good horror movie you've seen? I heard good things about Barbarian. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard some good things about it.
I mean, I haven't actively watched movies in the last 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you off like? You're not
I'm-
even active on social media that much, huh? nowadays?
Not much. I have
Yeah.
a very one-sided like experience with it. Like I'll put some stuff out. I try to like put some nature into the world, some
Yeah,
positivity, but I know that people aren't really trying to focus on
Or
anything.
spread truth as well.
Oh God, they
You
hate
got-
the
yeah,
truth.
you have
They
to really,
revile
you have to
the
really
truth.
dig for that stuff.
They don't want to. People don't want to know. They don't. Most
and
people
they
aren't
don't.
trying to
They
hear
don't want to
that.
be questioned as far as their belief systems. They don't want to be questioned or proved wrong because a lifetime of believing something.
Well,
Because I
yeah.
used to go to church, man, but then I realized later, like, oh, religion's just a sham. It's,
Religion's a sham, but
it's a
God is
sham.
real. You know.
yeah, God is real. I don't want to label it, but I know something's out there.
Yeah.
So as far as going back to your animals, how many other do you have? Dogs or cats or anything?
I have 2 cats. A black and a white one, a boy and a girl. I have 2 bearded dragons, 2 chickens, and 1 bunny rabbit
Okay.
that my friend Nono found on the streets of West
Yeah.
Hollywood.
What do you have do you have an aquarium? Like where does?
Yeah, he's got a little enclosure. He's in like the hospital version where it's just a paper towel, 1 rock, and the heat lamps. But usually he has a 40-gallon tank.
Does he know who you are?
I feel like yes.
He could differentiate like between me and you. Like he knows like, okay, I don't know this guy, but that's my
I feel like he's like, I was reading something that said they can tell the difference. They can, or what's that, chickens? It's the same difference, really.
Does he get along with the other animals?
Yes, although yesterday my chicken pecked his tail, and so I got very upset. I said, no, Alabaster.
So how do you take care of a chicken?
The chickens live in the backyard. They have a coop.
Okay.
You know, they make eggs, and they, I would say they're pretty easy, but mine are really spoiled. So this week they've started a new trend where they go, ah, ah, and to wake me up at 7:30 in the morning because they want me to give them dried mealworms.
Oh, wow. So you have there's a lot of maintenance involved with these animals.
Oh, my God. I'm surprised I've even been away from home as long as I have today because I usually can't leave for more than like an hour a day.
Now, I've used to see you around, I want to keep it anonymous, but like,
I don't care.
Like, 12-step, whatever. And I knew you're a musician, but then, can we bring up Giant Drag? Because you're the lead singer of Giant Drag.
Yes.
So how did you get involved with that band?
I mean, I don't remember. Let's see. I met Micah, my original drummer.
Shout out to Micah.
Shout out Micah Calabrese, great guy. And he and I just started organically playing music together. And then a friend of ours asked us to play at, what was that place called in Glendale? There used to be this bar/music venue that probably doesn't exist because nothing does exist anymore.
They're doing shows like via Zoom now.
Yeah. VR shows in the Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
Nightmare World. But yeah, we played a show and then another show, and then we got a residency at Silver Lake Lounge. Then that led to a residency at Spaceland.
I remember Spaceland. I do remember that spot.
What's it? The Satellite.
Yeah.
And now it's over, right? It's
I
gone?
don't know. I don't go to concerts anymore.
I don't either. I'm too old and I don't like loud music.
Trust me, I'm up there too. I'm getting up there.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the last concert I went to be honest with you. Yeah.
That's a good question. I think I do. I went to go see Guy Blakesley and Leal Neal at Zebulon.
Oh, okay. And then as far as you meeting these people, weren't you guys on a label?
Yeah, we got signed to, first Wichita, the Tastemaker label from England. Shout out to Mark Bowen.
Okay.
And then we got signed to Kickball/Interscope. Shout out to Wendy Higgs.
That's a big deal. Interscope.
It was.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So how did it work back then? Like, because now I'm sure you can make an Instagram video and they're great, or a YouTube video.
Yeah, maybe.
But back then, how did it? How
back
did it work?
The business model was good because you
played shows.
You played shows, but the bigger that you got, you had more. Or was it the label that made you bigger? I don't really know. Actually, my career was basically single-handedly made by Mark Sovell from Indie 103.1.
Oh, a radio station.
Yes.
Can you give him a shout out?
Shout out Shovel.
And he did it just out of the kindness of his heart. He's
I
like this music. I want to play it.
He had a local show, so there was one week where he started playing our song "This Isn't It" as like an advertisement for the Sunday night local music show.
Did he tell you that he was going to do it, or he just did it?
He just did it.
See, that's cool.
And then we had to find him and be like, dude, who's this guy? He's playing the wrong version of the song. He's playing the demo version.
Like the B-sides
Yeah,
version?
and we made an EP that's better. And so then we found him, and I still know. I just talked to him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's so cool.
He's
no,
great.
You said EP. Is EP, it's like 4 to 6 songs,
yeah,
right? It's
EP.
like a demo.
It's an extended player, and then the long player.
Is that's what it stands? I never knew extended player.
Or erect penis. I don't know. Depending what kind of music
at least
you make.
4 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how did you record back then? Was it a 4-track? Do you have to go to a studio? Because now you can do everything just on your computer.
Which has ruined the entire industry.
I want to know more about your opinion towards that. Why is it oversaturated?
Yeah, there's too much shit. Like when I put out my solo record in 2017, I think, Girly Action, shout out, was doing PR for me. And they're like, Annie, the last time you released a record, there was 100 releases per week. Now there's like 100 per day.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah, and
is it because of this thing?
It is. It's only because of that thing. Because
this thing you got. Dude, I did an album on GarageBand, man. I just hooked up my sampler, and then boom.
Yeah.
You could do it.
Oh, I brought an EP for you that's in my car that I also recorded on.
Because I want to plug that. I want to plug all that.
Yeah.
So back then, let's I guess it's interesting to me because of technology and everything.
Right. We were just switching to digital back then when we were a band. It was just switching from tape machine. No, reel to reel. Yeah.
Tape, right?
To Pro Tools and digital and all that garbage. But Micah, my drummer, was and is such a tech savvy mofo. So he had was it Pro Tools? I don't know what it was. Some computer programming thing, because he could do all that. He would look at my laptop and fix it,
Right. So he was a computer geek.
And I'm the opposite. I look at the computer and it breaks. I walk into a room and technology malfunctions.
Yeah. I'm really I'm technologically slow as well. I know the basics. Okay, I can't remember the third or fourth step. Just tell me what I need to click, and then just record here. And that's it.
It takes me a long time to learn this stuff because it's not intuitive for me.
No, well, we come from a different era as well, because I grew up with MTV, a Cutting Edge, and and then as far as hip hop is concerned, it's back then I didn't even know how they made the beats. I'm like, how they layering the stuff.
How did they make the beats? On drum machines?
Well,
or MPCs?
Well, this is I got this. This is the fifth time me breaking this out. So when I went to Arizona State, there was a local indie hip hop scene, and there was local acts opening up for Diggable Planets would come, and I'm like, but these guys are from here. These are the local kids,
right?
But how are they coming up with their music? And so I was like. It was just a mystery to me until I met a guy at the dorms. He lived in a different dorm. He was from New York. Shout out to DJ Yellow Jacket. And he was he was into East Coast stuff. And he sold me this for $150.
Wow.
And you could put batteries in it.
That's cool.
And so this is how, this is kind of a weaker version of an MPC. But what you could do is, you could sample on button 4. So it's basically straightforward. You'd assign it to 4, and then I could put a loop of drum on it, and then I would spend hours just to do it perfectly.
Right? Because can you actually sample things so it plays out of sync?
Yeah, you could. In fact, when I had this thing, and I didn't know what it was. I was literally I only had I had a Beatles. Sgt. Pepper's thing, and I'm like, oh, this is the only, because I was at my mom's in Gilbert, and you could usually people hook it up to a turntable, but I only had a CD jack, and so I only had that Beatles CD, so I'm like, I'll just sample Sgt. Pepper's, and then I was like, oh my god, and so that's how I learned how to make music on this. But going back to but nowadays you don't need stuff like this. This is a dinosaur bone.
You can use your phone. You can record an entire album on the phone.
Yeah, and that blows my mind.
And now it's almost stupid to go to a studio, because we recorded at a lot of studios. I can't remember the name of not one of them at this point, but
somewhere in the East,
Record Plant was where we recorded our first EP, and then I don't know, all these other places that were legendary places. When we were recording the EP, I was going to the bathroom and I heard some lady in a familiar voice saying I'm 50-something years old. I'm going through menopause. I look at Stevie Nicks.
What the heck?
And I'm like, holy shit, because I love Fleetwood Mac and I love Stevie Nicks. And then I walk around the corner and Mick Fleetwood is on the phone under a picture of himself and Stevie Nicks from the 70s. They were mixing the dance there that day.
And this is in, what year was this?
This was 2003.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
My kind of wake up call as far as I'm in LA was I worked at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, and I saw Zach De La Roca.
Quitted now.
He was a regular at the one I was training at.
Wow.
And I couldn't process what I was seeing. I'm like, where have I seen that guy?
Yeah.
And then once someone was like, dude, that's Rage Against the Machine, I go, no, really, that's him. And then I just freaked out. But then, LA, because I'm not from LA.
Where are you from? Arizona?
San Diego.
San
Then I lived in
Diego.
Arizona for like years.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
from Orange County.
Okay.
So is Zach De La Roca. He's from Irvine.
So shout out to Zach De La Roca.
Shout out to Irvine, too.
Get the band back together, huh, buddy?
Great band.
The world needs you now more than ever.
I don't know if he's still raging against the
But
same machine or if he's raging with it now.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by that?
I mean,
That
a
was
lot of these people who are
Whoa.
punks are like now, like they're, raging
Think
for
about what you're about to think
I'm
about
already
it.
so canceled.
Okay, go.
They're raging for following the mainstream narrative, like, because it's one that is born out of fear. So everyone's like, go along with it. And these are the punk people. The punk people.
But what's the definition? You said punk. So what is the definition of punk? Because I just saw a G.G. Allen documentary. I didn't really know much about him, but I'm like, guy's awesome. He's taking a crap on stage and smearing it on his face.
I mean, that was is
that punk?
That's performance art, I think.
so okay. What's the difference between performance art and punk then?
I don't know.
Because he did
Good
some kind of
question.
suspect stuff with some of his male fans.
Right.
I don't want to get into it.
I will say I love his cover of Carmelita is great, but I think
that's in the documentary too. I think he's with the guitar.
Other than that, I think that's kind of music for people who don't like music that much.
So it's anti-music?
It's maybe, yeah. I mean, punk used to be just like I don't know, like you're. Let's be honest. Punk people are the people that didn't really want to put the effort into learning the Fleetwood Mac songs and being good like
so
that.
they'll just do two chords and scream like.
And I appreciate it. And punk, and I used to listen to punk and be punk. And I remember when punk meant that some guy's driving by in his F-150 truck and calling you the F word, like agate.
Okay. Oh, so that's punk?
That was punk, but that's what it meant. Like, why do you look like that?
That's more like jock mentality.
Well,
isn't
yeah,
it?
but that's who you were up against was the jocks. But now the punks are the jocks now.
So the punks became the jocks?
Yeah, and the only real thing left to be punk is like a follower of Jesus Christ.
So that's punk.
I think that's the final frontier.
So punk back then, was it like you just do whatever you want to do, man?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
right?
And you were like counterculture. You were outside of the norm. You were not going along with the narrative of get married, settle down, do this, da-da-da. And you're probably maybe from a broken home or for some reason you identify with this music that is like kind of corrupted the whole world.
I really identify with what you said as far as now. You said something like everyone's going with the narrative, opposed to back in the day, like what Zach was doing, like he was going against the system.
He was raging against
it. So you're saying that kind of narrative has switched back to being compliant?
I mean, I don't know. Has it ever been so compliant before as it is now? Now it's like you are ousted from society if you don't rage with the machine and all the. I mean, and it's from social media.
I want to tune out of it though. I don't want to take part in any of it.
Oh yeah, you want to exit the matrix. Is what you want to do.
And I'm glad that's a good talking point because people think I'm crazy, but I believe in aliens and I think that we are in a way in a crazy matrix. Yeah. I'm looking up and reading all this stuff and I'm thinking, well, I didn't even know that like life could be viewed that way as far as just like the way that I was birthed into this world through my mom's canal and then there's the maritime
you're into sovereign citizen stuff.
So it's kind of like people don't realize that water is really money, like they say liquidated assets,
right.
And how everything is birth. Your females are all ships are all female names,
right?
And how like when you're birthed into this matrix, you need a certificate. Why do we need a certificate? You only need a certificate when you ship goods on a boat or a ship. It's called
maritime.
The maritime. Yeah, it's
I've defended myself in court with this.
Well, it's a real thing.
It's completely real.
A bank. Okay, so what's a bank? It's in between a river, and that's where it's the flow of currency, and and it's just like really the certificate of manifest. So that is what it's called when a ship delivers goods. Let's say it's flat screen TVs or something. You need a certificate.
Right.
A certificate. Why do you need a certificate? Because those are the goods. And they manifested today. They weren't here yesterday. Same thing with humans. It's like you manifested through your mother's. The water broke.
Yeah.
Too, going back to the maritime, the water broke and we manifested here. And so we need a birth certificate and we need a death certificate. And why do they say, and I feel like each one of us, like we're our own corporations because.
Only when our names are in uppercase letters.
That's so crazy. I was just thinking of that today. Why is only corporations have your names in all caps? So that's saying to me, oh no, I'm my own corporation. Not only that, when you marry, that's business. It's a partnership.
A union.
Yeah, you ever notice it's like, at the bar, it's like, oh, I saw you with that woman. She's bad company.
Right.
Or mind your business.
Yeah, it'll bring down your brand.
The way we talk is like, it's like, well, that's kind of weird. That means that's like business.
Yeah.
Partnership.
Business
company.
as usual,
Yeah. So I don't know. People think I'm crazy, but like it's kind of adding up because I'm like, not only that, even on our driver's licenses, it's like, it doesn't even say we're men or female. It's like we're male or like similar to animals, like we're either male or female.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah.
It is weird. And it's funny that people call the truth these days crazy. And they've made it like, don't think that that's not by design to dispose people to these ideas being crazy. So when they hear it, they instantly dismiss it because it fucks with their mind. We used to live in tribes. We used to find our identity in our tribes that we lived in. Now people find their identity in identity politics and their beliefs and who they think they are or their followers or whatever. But none of that shit is real. And
even social media, like, where does that come from? Maybe socialism? You have your social
media?
Exactly. You have your social media for socialism?
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, it's kind of like... So shout out to Jordan Maxwell. I get a lot of info from him. He was a very wise man. He studied, broke down words of, where they really come from and stuff like that. And I don't want to get into the symbol. There's a lot of symbols and stuff that we take for granted. There's a lot of stuff that
nobody asks questions about them. That's the problem. It's like, what is the logo from Starbucks? What is the logo from this, that, or the other thing?
But there's something to that. I mean, how about this? Just on our dollar bill, why is there a pyramid on it?
Why is there a pyramid?
There are no pyramids in the United States.
Why is there an Eye of Horus on that thing? And what are the words?
Like on the top of it.
Yeah, because
the cornerstone. The cornerstone.
It's showing us and we're at the bottom of that pyramid.
Or Nova Seclorum, all that. What does that mean?
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the truth. That's one thing I've noticed lately.
But I want to look. I realize that. Damn, dude, this is just shot. Dude, we're here, then boom, and I feel like. Have you seen Back to the Future 2? I always bring this analogy up because I feel like it's when they steal. Biff steals a DeLorean and goes back in time and steals a sports almanac, and he shifts all a different timeline.
Is that when he fucks his mom or something?
No. Biff steals the DeLorean and then they go back and then there's this alternate reality of where he bets and wins millions of dollars and he has his own casino. But he kind of reminds me oh, that's like Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying?
They put a lot of predictive programming into
movies,
especially the sequels. Ghostbuster 2. We're living that.
Go ahead.
Because they open a portal and all the ancient demons start coming out. Happening.
Oh, so you're going there? Yeah, because I believe in that stuff too.
Yeah, I believe those aliens are that.
Yeah, not only that, Hollywood, sorcerers.
Yeah,
Holly. They made it from the holly tree.
Yes, they did.
Okay, so Hollywood from the holly tree. Where are we at right now? What do? They make movies in Hollywood, but then that's some Harry Potter shit
because they're casting a spell on everybody.
Yeah, it's like spells,
programming, channels, a spiritual medium who channels through stuff. It's all, and it lulls you into this what is it, theta brainwave state of receptivity where your subconscious. Our subconscious records everything in reverse all the time, so all those backward masking messages in music, so
that's real.
That shit's real, and it's not people doing it on purpose unless it's Jay-Z on that one song where it's murder, Jesus.
Yeah.
Six. That one's obviously been tampered with, but the Beatles ones and shit, that's there's a lot of shit goes down in the spirit realm that we can't even understand as humans because nobody's ever spoken to that.
Yeah, like even the EVP phenomenon, when they take electronic voice phenomenon like spirit voices, and they put it in a software and they reverse it, then there you hear some real shit in there.
Yeah, because they're fucking with things backwards. Like that's why, what's his name? The guy who created the term sex, drugs, rock and roll. He's like, not Aldous Huxley, but the Satanist who.
Aleister Crowley.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Aleister Crowley said every good black magician should learn to speak, read, breathe backwards, write backwards.
Well, he's taught the occult.
He's a Satanist. Yeah, he also said that it's like the most power that a black magician can sort of vampirize is to rape a 3-year-old white child, male child.
So he was on that demonic
pedo,
stuff.
That pedo shit.
Yeah. But that kind of connects with all this other stuff, like the Masonic stuff and like the occult knowledge. I didn't know that occult. Like, shout out to Jordan Maxwell again. I didn't know occult meant hidden.
Yeah.
So all that means is like they studied stuff people weren't looking at, like in the shadows, like the meaning behind symbols, the power, like sigils and all this other stuff. I'm like, I thought it was like something else. I didn't know it was just like hidden knowledge. That it's like the secret club where they're the only ones that know or something.
Totally, because if we all knew, then we would be living in a much different world. But if only a 1% of the world knows the real truth, and the rest of us, they feed the rest of us through the TV, like, whatever they want us to think.
I don't even watch TV.
I don't either.
I don't watch TV, the news, I don't watch any of it.
I don't even listen to music, dog, or watch movies, because
what?
I haven't for the last decade, and my life is better for it.
Really? What made you not? Because that takes discipline.
Oh, it didn't take any for me. I came out of this like life-altering relationship with some dark triad narcissist that I was so traumatized from that all of a sudden I was returned to like my child state of, as far as like I could perceive like subtle energies again, and like I was like made sensitive. I had spent years trying to block off special psychic information that I would receive. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know the truth. I didn't believe in demons. I didn't believe in angels, and then all of a sudden I was like a raw nerve and I could sense everything. So
is it more of a feeling or your intuition? Like,
yeah, it's like a feeling in my body kind of. And then like that was before I even got on my spiritual tip. And then once I started to learn about stuff, I started out in the witchier end of things with like New Age. And then eventually I came to the sad realization that the New Age stuff and the occult stuff is one and the same, and it's all it's mostly true, but then the devil gives you 99% truth, so you believe the 1% lie. And it's all these people are worshiping the devil in one way or another. Like, to worship God, you actively have to worship God, but to worship the devil, you just have to abstain from worshiping God and like be a heathen or a hedonistic, pig person or whatever. Yeah. And so I was like, it was shown to me, unfortunately, clear as day, like, oh shit, like this full Jesus is real. Like, this is not what I wanted for my life, for my weekend plans or anything, but it's not like the church Jesus. It's like gangster Jesus. And so I got jumped into the gang about 7 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, under the blood, because he rose from the crypt, you know?
Yeah.
And so, it's not ever what I wanted for my life. But since we are in end times, I feel like it was right in time. I got to get a lot of good years of 666 in.
So you think that we're near the end times right now?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
And what are some implications of that? Just what's going on globally with Russia?
I'm just going to base it off the Bible, which is God's like living word. And people are like, well, don't you think it's been tampered with? I'm like, yeah, but no, I don't know. If it's God's thing, then God could make sure nobody did. But, who knows? I don't pretend to know. But the Bible does say in the last days, men will become lovers of themselves, i.e. narcissists, the narc-apocalypse.
How do you define a narcissist?
A narcissist, as defined by the Diagnostic Statistic Manual, version 5, that's out right now. Go ahead. You have to just have 5 or more of their traits, such as you have a preoccupation with ideal love or power or money or some something
fame or recognition.
Fame, recognition. So that's
power, money,
ideal love.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2 would be like exploitative interpersonal relationships. Where
Give me an example of that.
Where it's just like you only have relationships where you...
Or people cater to your needs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Narcs are really good at making you volunteer to do something for them because you want to.
Is there gaslighting involved too?
That's not yet. The gaslighting is when you start to see the narc. Maybe they drop the mask because for the first couple months they're like perfect, and then
so there's a lot of acting involved.
Yeah, but then you do something that they don't like because they're idealizing you also.
So they're sizing you up as well.
Well,
seeing your weaknesses.
They're creating this false version of you, this avatar of you that they think is who you are. Inside their head. When you do something, take an action that does not support that reality of who they think you are, then they're like, yo. Or like maybe they get just a cold and they get sick and they let the inner beast out, and you see, oh,
you
shit.
See their true colors right there?
This person is not one person, but a person and a demon sharing the same vessel.
So it would be kind of like split, like multiple personality.
It's kind of
type
like
deal?
that, yeah. But it's all formed by a childhood trauma that gets triggered.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn about that. I never went to therapy, but I recently I have, I've gone to a couple sessions, and I didn't realize that a lot of my response is trauma response.
Right.
Like a lot of stuff I respond to is not normal. It's like I always get in fear, like, oh, what are they out to get? Why are they doing that? But continue. So
no,
is there love bombing involved?
Love bombing's at the beginning when they're idealizing you and you're loving it because they're like showing you all. They're like showing up as the person
that they want to show to you, like a perfect mate or something.
And they one of the symptoms of the 9 is a lack of empathy. That's the cornerstone.
I'm glad you brought that up. And that's a main characteristic.
That's what makes us all human is empathy.
Yeah, so to kind of figure, like, to be in someone else's shoes. Like, I wonder how this makes them feel.
Yes.
But they don't have any of that.
Well, they do have a form of it, and it's called cold empathy. And they use
what does that mean?
They use it to deduce the best way to sort of manipulate you.
So there's manipulation involved. It's not authentic.
They're inauthentic people is the crux of their problem. They can't be authentic because they have no sense of self.
How come they can't acknowledge fault? Because I notice that's a characteristic. They can't admit, like, where they're wrong.
Yeah, that is another characteristic, a huge one. You won't find them saying, oh, man, I really fucked up. I'm sorry.
You'll never hear that from a narcissist,
They can't, because that's pride.
Are they unable to even say those words? Or is it like they know they've messed up, but they don't want to admit that to show weakness? I don't know. What is that?
I think it's just like, I think we're operating on a spiritual level with demons here. Like somebody who's sharing the vessel with a cast of what's called the Jezebel spirit, which is the spirit of witch.
What's that all about?
That's like the narcissist demon network is...
There's a name to it?
Yeah, the Jezebel spirit network.
So who's Jezebel?
Jezebel was in the Bible, and she...
Whoa, this is some biblical stuff you're bringing up now.
Everything is, man. That's what I'm saying.
So is Jezebel, was she a witch or a demon or something?
She was like, she was a witch because the Jezebel Spirit Network, they host the spirit of witchcraft, spirit of prostitution, spirit of perversion, spirit of pharmakia, which is drugs.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting.
Yeah.
Talk about, words, pharmakia. And then
pharmaceutical, pharmakia.
Yep.
It's going back to the root words. Of
exactly.
How about this? If we're corporations, right? When we die, guess what? We're a corpse.
Yeah, a corporation.
Yeah. If this is how about this? If this is a corporation, let's say the United States hypothetically is a corporation, they have to enforce policy, right? And who enforces policy? The police. The police enforces the policy. Think about that.
And so, have you looked into any of the sovereign citizen videos of people doing sovereign citizen? I mean, that's classified as a paper terrorist now, but
no. Oh, so you're getting into the logistics as far as paperwork and
the people who use all of the the what is it?
The laws are
like
against
the
citizens or
Constitution.
Yeah, right.
Like there's all kinds of constitutional, and they're all legit. But the cops don't always like it when people do that, so sometimes they'll get real mad.
Oh, wow.
But it's like they're not breaking the law, but then they've classified them as paper terrorists.
Wow. Unbelievable.
You can't do anything right.
I just know
world.
something's not right. I've been here 40 plus years on this earth. I've seen enough. Where there's something just not right.
Yeah, I mean, Aerosmith wrote a song about it back in the 90s, if you recall. Something wrong in the world today. Don't know what it is.
Yeah, I remember his videos. I like, yeah.
That was cool.
He had some good songs, yeah.
Yeah, great. And where do those songs come from?
You're saying...
it's hard to say. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a lot of musicians that kind of like sprinkle truth in you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're hosting angels, sometimes you're hosting demons.
How do you tell the difference?
I don't know. I guess of the difference is like, how do you feel? Like, is it?
So is Led Zeppelin were they on the demonic or the angelic tip?
They're Satan worshipers. Like, admitted, like
because Led Zeppelin had some. If you play their records backwards,
yeah, he will give you 666.
Right, like Zeppelin. But you would think, okay, but they took a lot of drugs too, right?
They
like
worship
LSD.
the devil like a
the
lot.
Doors.
They still do.
Even the Doors were
and now
little.
we're getting into the list of like lead singers who had prominent military figure parents.
Jim Morrison.
I
didn't know that, really.
Yes.
They didn't show that in the documentary where Val Kilmer plays Jim Morrison.
They rarely do. What are they going to do?
With Meg Ryan, do you remember that one?
Yeah. Oh, that was a great one, actually.
Yeah, I own it somewhere around here.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
So you're saying the lead vocalists had their fathers were like in the military?
In the military, in the FBI.
So what's the connection? I want to know the connection.
Well, in like, for instance, if you have family in the Air Force, like the families from the Air Force would experience, like, allegedly be victims of MK Ultra mind control, like, because the government's been doing all these secret operations, Project Paperclip, MK Ultra mind control programming. It's like they test this shit. They brought all the Nazis from Germany after World War II, set them up out here with new gigs, and they're like, hey, come check this place out where we're going to do the next one. And then they fucking worked it out, and they're like, let's make this fucking TV that mesmerizes you, like Dr. Mesmer.
Or tell a
lie to your vision.
Tell a lie to your vision. Tell a lie vision.
It was literally invented to mind control people. And it wasn't till I was too traumatized to be, because I was a TV pig.
Me too. I grew up with Family Ties and Silver Spoons.
Yeah.
And you know what show was ahead of its time is the final V. Because back then it was a miniseries, but dude, it was about reptilians. They come to Earth, they have a human skin. They come as we're your friendly neighbors from outer space.
Yep.
But then they're really underneath they're reptilians.
Yeah.
But I think it's going back on Tubi. They're on I think it's on Tubi. Yeah, so this miniseries.
Yeah, they hide the
80s,
truth.
In the 84, that was in the 80s.
That's crazy.
I remember seeing that as a kid, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is cool. But I didn't realize.
You didn't realize it was real.
Well, I didn't realize now in my 40s that I'm like into that shit. Like, I've watched.
I remember. Did you ever see that show Grimm that was on about 7 or 10 years ago? It's like the Storytales Brothers Grimm.
Oh, okay.
They made all those
Are they short stories or something?
Well, it's about this guy whose last name is Grimm, and it introduces you to each episode to like a reptilioid or like this like guy who's like part fox or something. Demon, human hybrid people that only the Grimm can see, and his whole job is to because they'll manifest, their demon will manifest.
They can shapeshift too as well.
Shapeshift into a rat or whatever. They'll lose control, get angry, and he'll see it. Yeah. And then he has the whole episode is him hunting it down, killing it, whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a dope show. It was probably the last show I watched.
Was it on cable or Hulu?
Channel
or
4 or 11 or something.
Oh, okay.
Fox or NBC.
So that's the last thing you don't watch any of it now?
No, and I remember watching that one though and thinking to myself, wouldn't that be crazy if this was all real? And then within a year, I found out this is all fucking real.
Yeah.
This is all real. That's why they put it in TV. They put it in the movies, so you will be like, that's not real. I saw that in a movie. Like,
well, I know that George Lucas and people like Steven Spielberg, they know some shit.
well, yeah.
They know, especially George Lucas.
I would say especially Steebee Spielberg, where
and
he
George,
knows
too.
what he did, and it ain't right, you know?
Yeah, like the Death Star, like all that stuff, like
Yeah.
Darth Vader. That outfit that symbolizes something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard about the Mandela effect, where
Yeah, I know. We brought it up, but yeah, go ahead. I want to know your thoughts on it.
I mean, I never even saw Star Wars, so it's not crazy to me that maybe it always said, "No, I am your father."
Oh, you're talking about Empire Strikes Back at the end in Cloud City. Yeah.
and now
Where
it says
that battle with Luke and Darth.
But the Berenstein Bears, it's never been called.
What about the
Beren-
Ford logo? That's a little bit
There's so many of them. And now I'm having personal life Mandela effects. Like today I had one at Lassen's where I could have sworn Rock Cane, my favorite sugar cane juice place, was sold at Lassen's. And I went there thinking, because I could have sworn, I go, they're selling this for this much here? What a ripoff. I have a distinct memory of going to Lassen's, almost buying the sugar cane juice and being like, fuck this, they're hiking up the price. I get it for $1 cheaper.
So you remember that memory, and you're saying that's altered because maybe the Mandela effect? Because
maybe.
I'm not knocking it, because it's like if aliens have this crazy technology, they could just go boop, and then
we don't even need aliens for it. It's happening because of CERN in Switzerland, the Hadron Collider.
What are you doing now? What's that?
Do you not know about CERN?
No. Go ahead. Well,
so the top scientists in the world work at CERN, this giant, it's like circle shaped, it's under the ground, it's in France and Switzerland, and it's a giant hadron collider, and they have discovered the God particle. Like they slam like particles together, and when they do that, they may or may not be forming black holes or stuff like that, opening portals. That's what's going to give us our Ghostbusters 2 moment of all the demons walking out.
It made me think
Times
of just
Square.
World War II, even when we dropped the atom bomb on Hiroshima.
Mhm.
That definitely did something. That opened up
sure.
something, and a
Always.
couple alien.
If you look at
things came
the
through there.
footage of atom bombs when they explode,
that did
you'll
something.
see the face of the clown, which is represented
What?
of the devil. I was just
In the atom bomb?
in the smoke. And you can look at the 9/11 smoke and see the
man.
demon
Yeah,
faces
yeah.
that manifest.
Yeah.
It's
So-
spooky.
So with these demons, so they're just kind of like interdimensional evil beings, right? They're kind of like they're not ghosts. They just they take on this energy, right? And
Yeah, they're like negative associated beings.
Yeah.
Just like the opposite of angels, you know?
yeah.
The good news is they're in equal numbers. Like there's equal numbers of both, but the world seems a little bit negatively oriented at this point.
And that kind of feeds their the
They-
energy source. They like that
They
negativity.
feed off fear,
Yeah.
and anger, and rage, and grief, and all the negative feelings. That's what they eat as food, because they're
the reptilians too.
especially
It's called
them.
luge. There's a word that's
Yeah.
luge, and it's it's the energy that humans exude.
universal life force.
Yeah, they want to
energy.
keep humans in fear and panic and despair.
Yeah.
And they it's literally they that's their life force. They're like, yeah, let me get some of that.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
and then
So-
look at that. They have a buffet in the world today, thanks to the pandemic. It's like how many
They're
people
eating good right now, huh?
they are fat as can be. They're like, yeah, they're at Sizzler.
They're very scared because they're interdimensional. Like, how do you even catch? Like, it's just a lose. I mean, because I now I'm worried about like, okay, because I always think about like, okay, let's say I died in my sleep. Like, where does my soul? Do I go through a like a life review? Am I gonna go into a like a UFO? Like,
Hard to say because I've never like died before or whatever.
yeah, I know. Obviously,
But
yeah.
some people have,
And they've come back.
and they've come back with some info.
They see the
and
light at the tunnel.
Yeah, I mean,
something.
I can't stop thinking about the idea that when we die, these reptilioids are trying to trick us to make us go back down and come back out.
That's what I'm saying. I've heard about that where it's kind of like it's a recycled planet where they mind wipe you. And then because they always say go to the light, but then I've heard things where don't go to the light.
Don't go with the people that you recognize. Like, oh, here's your uncle and mom. Something's weird. Take the narrow gate, as it says in the Bible.
That's what it says in the. Yeah, because they could shapeshift, and you might think they might not be your real relatives.
Demons love nothing more than to impersonate your dead relatives.
That's in The Exorcist.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, remember, like, Demi.
That's so weird because that's come up two nights in a row. I was talking last night about the same thing. Creepy, but like, yeah, it's exactly what they do.
Yeah, the demon in that, or the Reagan who's possessed, takes on the priest's mom who passed away, like with the Italian accent.
Yeah.
Demi, why you do this to me? Demi?
Yeah, exactly. The only people they like to impersonate more is the Holy Family of Jesus and Mary,
or a family past loved one. So I think that's what I'll do. Let's say something happens. I don't know if I'll go to the light. I think I'll just chill for a minute and just figure. I don't want to like.
Don't chill for too long. You could get stuck in between.
What do you mean by that? That's
just
what
like
ghosts.
A ghost.
That's what happens with ghosts.
The next thing you know, you got to take a pottery class and come up behind. It's not good.
So you got to just kind of go to the narrow. Go do the narrow option.
Yeah.
Don't go where the flock goes. Go kind of do your own thing.
Never do what the flock does. Look at what they all did in World War II. They all did this, and that wasn't the right move.
Yeah, even this, people might listen to this and be like,
People
I think they're all on mushrooms right now.
People who can't receive this truth are so living a lie for so long, or they're just drone bots. I think there's a lot of deactivated drone bot clone people out there who are just like,
they're just going with it's like the Matrix.
Exactly.
They're AI. They're just in the like in a Grand Theft Auto. There's just
they're background actors.
Background. What are they called? NPCs,
NPCs, not to be confused with NPCs.
Yeah, we're not talking about the drug machine by Akai. Yeah, but oh wow, I didn't think we're going to be talking about all this like all this conspiracy stuff. But I enjoyed it.
That's kind of my wheelhouse.
Can we the hour already kind of went by. Can we like really start plugging your music and how people could support it?
I don't even care about that anymore, to be honest.
Whoa, let's not do that now. You took your time. You created art. That's what we do. The guests here, I want to at least give the listeners and viewers an option to check out their art. You know, because it's like we're here, and that's the thing. We're here at least make your art. You know, because that's the only thing that's kind of pure to me.
I was in a movie this year. I don't know if you knew about it.
Can we talk? What's the movie called?
It's called Dash Cam. It's a horror film.
Really?
I'll send you the link so you can watch it. It's a found footage horror film.
Found footage, and then you're a lead in that.
It's me playing a character named Annie Hardy.
So where can people watch the movie?
Amazon Prime On Demand and some other places. I'm not sure.
Check out Dash Cam today.
But the problem with that film is that I'm playing a character of myself plus a little bit of asshole-ish stuff for the movie,
You're acting though.
I'm
a role.
acting,
it's a role.
but the world's full of idiots, and so a lot of people on
Twitter
think
that's really you.
Think that's really me.
You're playing a role. It's acting.
But they're like, but it's her name, and I looked at her Twitter, and she's got those anti-vaccine posts, and it's like, you know what?
We don't want to get into all that.
No, hell no,
let's
we
not
don't.
Get into all that.
I wish I never did, but now because of that, it's like, because the entertainment industry is full of very hard-leaning Democrat libtards.
We're not trying to get political.
I don't believe in politics because that's a reptiloid division tactic.
It is dualism. It's like the yin
it's not real.
Yeah, it's dualism.
And that's my belief, and I believe in unity and oneness, and that we're.
But look
all
at the yin
one.
and yang. Even that's like it's like duality.
Right.
To split,
Yeah, but it's all one thing.
Same thing with like gangs, Bloods versus the Crips, this versus that. This, So I don't want to get into all, but I see what you're saying.
I just think there's never a reason for division, and anything that causes division is is a product of the devil. And
they want to separate.
They want to separate, so we never realize what's really going on.
Well, the power's in the unification.
Exactly, and people don't see it.
Not only that, if more people wake up and are more like aligned in the same positivity and consciousness, then that's when change can really 5D.
Happen. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's when you raise the vibration, because now it's so messed up. I mean, like
so messed up.
I can't even like. tune into things because they're like, do you hear what's going on with this, or this country is doing
Not
this?
real. They call that the world stage for a very good reason, because not a drop of it is very real. It's on television. Why would 1 hour of one show called The News be the 1 hour that's true? It's not true. It's all fake. If it's in the TV, if it's on the newspaper, they're owned by the same big, wig, rich people that want to kill you. They want to reduce carbon emissions.
They want to dumb you down and keep you
if they don't kill you.
Yeah.
But their plan is to reduce the world population, reduce carbon emissions. We are what? Carbon-based beings.
Not only that, we're even going back to the water thing. I was saying 78% water.
Yeah, so you better say nice shit. Dr. Emoto knew.
Oh yeah, as far as like I saw that study as far as like the glass of water.
Yeah, he would write a little sentence, tape it on the glass of water, and then freeze the molecules, look it under the microscope. He would say, "I love you. It looks like a beautiful snowflake."
And it would change.
But he'd say, "I hate you and want to kill you. It looks like a diarrhea splat."
Yeah, so it did change the.
We're all water.
We're all water, and that's interesting.
So speak nice words to yourself and to others, because
wow, that's interesting.
Because that's making up whether you're going to be sick or you're going to be well, whether the world is going to be sick or well, is whether you speak with love to people.
Well, there's nothing but positivity in this room, right?
That's right.
So demons aren't welcome here, okay,
no
guys?
Demons. They
no
can't.
demons here. Nothing but positivity, good vibes. Let's kind of push your music a little bit, though.
Okay.
Can we? A little bit.
Sure thing.
Let's just wrap it up. And I want to really, because you took your time out to create this music.
I did.
I want at least people, give them the option to check out some of your music.
Very
Not only
well.
that, you've known to do, didn't you direct music videos as well? Maybe say a couple of those projects as well.
Sure thing. Okay, so if you want to check out the music, I did just silently put out a brand new, for the first time in 7 years, Giant Drag EP.
That's what's up. Let's go.
I didn't really tell anybody. I guess
Let's go.
I'm dropping the biscuit here.
Let's go.
So you can get that and all my other songs and
Website?
albums at anniehardy.bandcamp.com.
I'm all about Bandcamp.
Me too.
I'm all about Band. You know why I love Bandcamp? Because it's like, I don't know what happens when my stuff's on Spotify. I don't know I don't know who's streaming what.
Exactly.
What country, you know what I'm saying? Bandcamp, I know they support you directly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love Bandcamp. Shout out to Bandcamp.
Shout out Bandcamp.
Annie Hardy Bandcamp.
Yes.
Spell out the name.
Annie, ANNIEHARDY.bandcamp.com is the music.
Yeah, me too. I love Bandcamp.
I do too, because they send you money.
It's like and then you know who's buying your music,
Yeah.
and they could send you, like, hey, I like this song or whatever.
I mean, the old model for the music biz was not that bad. Yes, they steal most of your money, but they give you most of the money, and they got a team working on you. Now we're all alone.
Not only that, like, you don't know who's streaming what. How do you even like?
Well, on Spotify, it tells you whether your audience is male, female, non-binary.
But what about who's listening? The numbers, like who's downloading what?
I don't fucking know.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know that I care anyway, because I'm just doing it for myself, as if
No.
listening.
But people, you'll be surprised.
But people want to know the numbers so they can know if they're allowed to like stuff or not too. Like,
you know what? That is interesting, right? It's kind of like, why can't you just decide on your own without? And I catch myself doing that on YouTube. Like if I see a video, only has this amount of views, just like, but then I'll catch myself be like, I want to watch this.
They could be shadow banned like me. And if you want to see my videos, that's youtube.com/Annie Hardy or Annie S. Hardy.
Do you think this episode will be shadow banned?
Might be, but maybe not. I mean, sometimes they let a thing or two slip through a post here.
Because we didn't get into it like halfway through.
Yeah. I mean, I think it could be fine.
We good?
Does this go to YouTube?
Yeah.
It will be suppressed then, yeah, probably.
Really?
Because they have AI that looks for keywords, and when they hear you speak it,
What?
There's truthers out there that I've been watching for years that just post-pandemic have disappeared into the ether like they never existed.
Oh my God.
Because they're controlling the narrative. Why do they never fact check anything from the side that's not telling the truth? Fact checking, saying that's not. Fact checkers have determined that's not true. Let that be known that is always the truth, basically.
We'll keep it on the music though. Like, hey, check out the music. AnnieHardyBandcamp.com. Anything else like that? And then you want
Check out my drummer's band, my new
Oh,
drummer.
go ahead.
Yeah,
go
it's
ahead.
Colin Death Rage. I usually don't fucks with drummers who are playing drums and then front people, but he's a front man first.
Okay.
And then I co-opted him, and he's great. I love Colin.
Yeah.
And his band is called The War Toys,
Oh, that's
and they're so
I like
good.
that. That's cool. War
he
Toys.
knows what's up, and one of his
War Toys.
The War Toys, and one of the first covers of one of his first albums is like the design of the TV with a swirly thing.
That's so cool.
So he knows what's up.
Yeah.
He's cool. I'm ready to just move off grid with my like-minded friends.
So is that the plan? Moving off grid?
Yeah, that's my plan.
Where
at
were
present.
you out of the States?
No, because the whole world's doomed, really. So, and I don't want to. I want to be able to come back and see all my friends and stuff.
Maybe somewhere in the desert. I could see you in the desert.
The desert.
I could see you in the desert. I just pictured Joshua tree, something like that.
It's a little too
too
cool,
close,
too hot,
okay,
and too cold.
Okay.
I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm thinking somewhere more foresty.
There you go. Maybe up north. Maybe
maybe
Redwoods,
up north.
Redwoods.
Maybe Big Bear.
Yeah.
Even
Big Bear.
that's close.
I was thinking the same thing. That's
Wherever
so crazy.
they can't
I was
find
thinking
me.
Big Bear too, man.
Yeah.
I was thinking that. I was looking up like rental properties. I'm like, oh, I could afford that because Big Bear's close enough where if I need to dip back down, I could like.
It's like 2 hours.
Yeah, dude. How'd you know that?
Because I'm from San Clemente.
Oh, so you know
Lake
that.
Arrowhead.
Oh, right,
you know,
right,
the
right.
back way
but
round.
Big Bear is cool because then you got Lake Arrowhead near there.
Or Crestline or Arrow
Yeah,
Bear.
that's near that. That's near that. Yeah.
You know, and all the Zillow, the market is crashing now.
So it's gonna be cheaper.
Us broke asses can maybe buy some.
I've been here 18 years, Annie.
Damn. Rent control. Better be. Yeah, I won't tell
Edit
anybody.
that out. But they're gonna kick
amazing.
me out here pretty
Are
soon.
they?
Yeah, well, you know, I've been here, but in the future.
That's happening for you, I think. You know.
Yeah, I need a change. Because I feel
Time
like
to level up.
Yeah, but I don't need much to survive. You know, like I see through all that. I know I don't even have a car. I mean, I need to get a car first.
Maybe
And
not.
then,
What's your sign?
Virgo.
I knew you were gonna say that.
What?
Because my dad's a Virgo, and he doesn't.
When's his birthday?
August 25th.
That's mine too.
Are you serious? My dad is like, I don't need very much to survive guy. That's spooky, though. That's very spooky.
August 25th?
Mm-hmm.
That's my birthday, dude.
That's weird.
Holy moly, guacamole.
The day of the
Dude.
people who don't need much.
Dude, my intern's face changed. She's like, what?
It was crazy that I knew
What's
you
your
were
dad's name?
Kent. James Kent, actually.
August 25th. Yeah.
Different year.
All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Dude, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I got to give quick shout outs. So if you want to help support the podcast, go to patreon.com/Steebee Weebee. I do a separate audio vlog type thing, exclusive content on Patreon every Monday. So tune in for that. I do another podcast with my friend and comedian Jeremiah Watkins called Scissor Bros podcast. Those episodes,
Scissor Bros, that's
Scissor
amazing.
Bros, and we drop. And I got the scissors right here.
That's so cool.
Those episodes drop Friday. Okay, every Friday morning. Okay, Steebee Weebee Bandcamp for music there. If you want to send any packages or anything, mail.
Don't do it. Don't
Send-
do it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
somebody's head.
1425 North Cherokee Avenue, P.O. Box 1391, LA, California 90093. Dude, check out, what's your movie again that you're in?
Dash Cam. And you
Check
should go.
out Dash Cam.
I have a Patreon too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Patreon.com//
it.
Annie Hardy. I feel like such a hooker doing Patreon.
I mean, there's people doing OnlyFans. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I guess. I thought
gotta-
so. I thought this woman I
You're a
knew.
creative you know, you just
It's
you wanna
hooker
do
shit.
your art. You
It's
wanna do your-
all hooker shit.
Well, you know, you got, I mean,
That's why I'm just not doing my art anymore. Like, cause
but you got to keep doing your music just for the, like, I was thinking, I mean, I'm not motivated, but I'm like, maybe, like, I should just do it because it's like,
I need to collaborate with somebody
Yeah.
who's like, just like with somebody who's good, you know, because I don't want, I feel like I've written every song. I've written all my, like.
Oh, I can link you up with my homie Money Mark from the Beastie Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Mark.
You know, I just recorded with Was it Mario C? Likes to keep
Yeah.
it clean.
That's like his family.
Yeah.
Mario C. And then he was involved with Check Your Head and all those.
I didn't know Mario C was Brazilian.
And not only that, he was
Just like
heavily involved with the Beastie Boys.
Just like my Bikini Wax.
Yeah.
You know?
So Ad Rock, you're always welcome. Mike D and Ad Rock. We would love to have you as future guests on the Steebee Weebee Show. Big fan. Be real. Would love to have you. Okay.
From
Cypress Hill.
Cypress Hill.
Love Cypress Hill. OG. Okay. In the game. Prince Paul. Always welcome here.
Prince.
Always
period,
welcome
just
here.
Prince.
Prince.
Purple Rain.
Prince,
I know
your
you're
ghost
out there,
is
Prince.
always welcome here. Okay.
If you're even dead at all, we don't know.
He was really unique.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I want to go to the island where
he did good
Michael
music.
and Tupac and who knows what he did in his off hours, but he was so good.
Yeah.
It's okay if he did molest a couple.
Wait, let's edit that part
And I'm
out.
very much against pedophilia in
Yeah.
all regards,
Thank you.
but like, come on.
Yeah, well, he wrote some
Dirty
good, he wrote some good
Diana.
songs, but I just,
No.
yeah, he was into weird things.
Yeah, he had an ape.
Yeah,
And
then
that's
he
what-
had the whole
It's not
amusement
his,
park thing.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not his fault though. This is what happens in the entertainment industry.
He just got-
Do you see people coming
Yeah,
out of
he lost
better
his
than
mind.
they began?
He lost his mind. too.
Maybe,
Yeah.
or maybe we've all lost our mind, and he was sane.
Dude, you are awesome.
You are too. Simbasa way.
Shout out to Simbasaway. Do you want to maybe show him to the camera again, and then so he can
Simbasa way has been
goodbye?
pulling my dress apart,
Thanks for
so
tuning
I
in.
titty flash
Yeah.
your audience. Hi, Simbasa way.
Bring him in. Right here. Right to the camera.
Give him the old Michael Jackson. Shaman.
Sitting by his side, he was a fallen leaf. Couldn't pick him up, a lifetime is brief. Homage to my pops and what he's achieved. From Korea to the land of stripes, BFE side. To high and auditory states, meet your guide. Your body stays below the river tide. Confide in the waters, holding secrets as your lies subside. Upside is a falling in a pot to fly. My balloon, let it fly up to the moon. Yeah. Shaped like a spoon, not to be exhumed. Assume that it knew about the air it flew. A lonely troll with a tantrum throw. Hitting on the keys like he's not King Kong. Not a friend but a foe on a gossip bro. The Pope wears a tiara crown shaped like a fish. Donating all your earnings to the church, make a wish. Remember